Welcome back to Mock the Mock, where we take a look at someone else's mock draft. And I'm Mock and give you my views, thoughts, and opinions. And we got a great one for you today as we're taking a look at PFF's own Trevor Sikkema, friend of the channel, Trevor Sikkema, and his mock draft. But what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo. Just in case you did not know, so go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content as always. Let me know what you think in the comment section below where we have that nice, beautiful football discourse. Let's go ahead and get into this sucker. I'm assuming he's going to do no trades. And we got Caleb Williams going first overall to the Chicago Bears. Listen. I'm not going to go in depth on this one. I'm firmly in the camp of keep this pick, trade Justin Fields, get your franchise quarterback, allegedly, and just essentially get back on a rookie contract for a quarterback. I think that's just financially, it's the better option. And I think logically, it's the better option. If you're in the camp of build around Justin Fields, sure, why not? I think he needs to show out for the remainder of the year for that to even be plausible. So there we go. Pick one. New England Patriots, they take Drake Maye. Oh, la la. This is kind of a no-brainer. I know some people don't think Bill Belichick's going to be around next season. I got to see it to believe it. I think he's firmly tanking. I think he has destroyed the confidence of Mac Jones, and I think it was done on purpose. He had sticking Bill O'Brien in there, just yelling in the face of poor mac and cheese so that they can get this pick. They get Drake Maye, top two quarterbacks off the board. Kind of curious to see where the other quarterbacks will go in this class. Maybe we don't see any at all, but let's move on to pick 3, which is the Arizona Cardinals. You take the best non-quarterback prospect in the class, or you can make an argument, best prospect in the class, Marvin Harrison Jr. It's perfect. I think Hollywood's contract is up this season, though. They could still bring him back and still pick Marvin Harrison Jr. Then you have a beautiful, beautiful triplet of receivers. Doesn't sound right. Doesn't roll off the tongue, but you got your Michael Wilson, you got Marvin Harrison Jr., then you have Hollywood Brown. Rondale is more of this just offensive weapon. They've used him to great effect in the backfield at times as well. So looking up. No disagreement here. Olu Fashanu going to the Washington Commanders. For me personally, I think that the need at tackle kind of outweighs the sex appeal of Brock Bowers for this pick. I would just rather go with whoever your top tackle is, whether it's Olu, whether it's Alt. I think it makes just a world of sense. You can move on from Charles Leno, who gets pretty expensive after this season. And this doesn't change how good or how bad the line is. They're going to have to do some stuff in free agency to bring in some more talent, because it's not just a tackle problem there. Because, you grab Olu here, and still you got Wiley, who I thought was a bad signing in the offseason. You still got him at right tackle. And, honestly, outside of, Cosme, I'd be willing to kind of blow it all up along the offensive line. I'd be willing to. The Bears end up taking Liatu Latu at pick 5. They take the top defender on the board. For me, I'm still at this point where it's who's edge one? It could be Verse, it could be Latu, it could be Chop Robinson, it could be Dallas Turner. I haven't really made a distinct decision on that yet, but I don't mind that. I think this could be a hot trade down spot for the Bears, or even if they do want to get a receiver, they go with one of the second tier of wide receivers, being Malik Neighbors, Keon Coleman, Romadunze. I think that would be fine as well. All right, we got pick 6 coming in, and it's Malik Neighbors to the New York Giants. Now, they could take QB3 here, which I wouldn't blame them. It feels pretty high for QB3, but I definitely think they this is the discussion where it's like, okay, who is QB for three for us, and are we willing to take them in the top 10? It's going to be the major question. If not, you could argue Joe Alt. Have Joe Alt play right tackle, kick Evan Neal inside. Or you could just grab more playmakers, and Malik Neighbors is a wonderful playmaker. At the end of the day, I think it's like, I think it's the conversation between those three positions. Okay, pick 7. The Jets take Joe Alt. I think going tackle is kind of their best bet. If tackle 2 is still on the board, whether that's Olu, whether that's Joe Alt, they need more guys there on the offensive line. So it's like, to me, it makes a world of sense. It makes a ton of sense. You could do the sexy thing, get Brock Bowers. I don't disagree with that. You could grab a pass catcher, but this draft class is littered with them. Even if you don't have your second round pick, it's still littered with pass catchers. So if they want, they can push that can down the road, or you can take a shot here. I think tackle or pass catcher just makes the most sense. Real quick, before we get into pick 8 here, got to give a shout out to Underdog Fantasy. When you use promo code Broshmo, when you sign up with it, bam, it's right there at the bottom. Then they will match that first deposit up to $100 dues. So if you sign up using promo code Broshmo, your first deposit is $50. They give you $100 to play with. If it's $75, they give you $150 to play with. If it's $100, they give you $200 to play with. It's pretty nice. Best place to play weekly best ball. My favorite is the higher and lower on player prop bets. It's not just football, man. They got other sports. They even go as far as including esports. I didn't know you could even bet on those things. But as always, please bet responsibly. Bet with within your means. Pick 8. Tennessee Titans take J.C. Latham. I find tackle 3 in here is going to be interesting. Latham's actually put together a pretty solid season after the Texas game. I like Talanisa Fuaga as well. Armarius Mims, I feel like it's trending heading back to school. Regardless, the Tennessee's offensive line, it's dog water, man. It's bad. Peter Skoronski is about the only piece I feel really comfortable moving forward with. Maybe like you can move a Nicholas Petit-Frere or a Andre Dillard to guard. Try to make that work. I honestly think that there needs to be an overhaul on the offensive line for the Titans. Pick 9. Oh, the Saints, they take Jaden Daniels. Hello, keeping him in the state of Louisiana. That's A-okay. So the Saints, you sit in here and now you really start to think, okay, we're getting to the end of the top 10. Do we pull the trigger on QB3? Because knowing there's like teams like the Bucks or the Raiders that are behind them, they might be willing to pull the trigger there. You know, the Vikings, if you see the quarterback slide a bit, they'll probably want to take a quarterback at that position as well. Instead, the Saints do it. I mean, let's be honest, man. Derek Carr hasn't been great. They don't have an answer of who's the future. Someone in my comments said, well, what about Jake Haener? Jake Haener maybe could be a fine backup, but he's a day 3 pick. Don't go Ian Book yourselves. All right? Just go ahead. Take the Heisman Trophy winner. There, I said it. Heisman Trophy winner. I think he kind of should be the unanimous Heisman Trophy winner. Though I think a great argument is to be made for Jordan Travis that you're so good that when you get hurt, your undefeated squad doesn't make the playoffs simply because you got hurt. You could argue he is apparently the most valuable player in college football, that his undefeated team had apparently no case for the playoffs once he went down. Ha he he. Not that he got hurt. Ha ha he he. That college football committee did the wrong thing. At pick 10, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They go with Brock Bowers. Not exactly, they're not filling a need, but then again, in the draft, you don't need to fill needs. You use free agency for that, and the draft, you want to just go get the best players, and you can make a great argument, which I would agree. Brock Bowers is the best player on the board right now. Excuse me for a second. I really do think he is. Is this exactly what the Bucks I mean, they get a pass catcher for, I guess, whoever the heck is playing quarterback. I'm kind of curious. I want to see more Kyle Trask. I do. He had like 2 snaps a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, those passes weren't half bad. Kind of want to see what he's made of. And Baker's been manageable, but he's on a 1-year deal. Las Vegas Raiders. Oh, they go Roma Dunze. Oh, we got to read this sucker. Are we trying to score points or are we trying to score points? Well, I think you're trying to score points. There aren't many receivers who move like Roma Dunze at 6'3", 215 pounds. He ranks in the 53rd percentile on open targets created, which is not common for players with his build. He is also in the 96th percentile for contested catches, hauling in more than 70% of the targets this season. Yes, that is something that he got exceptionally better at this year, contested catches. So now you got Adams, you got stinking Myers. Golly, man. Ton of receivers. Aiden O'Connell, man, might get a fair shake if this is the case. But I mean, I think there's a strong case that do you want to take quarterback 4 at this point and maybe want to wait and see what's available to you in round 2. So not all against it, man. I mean, hey, we're in a pass heavy league where, hey, 3 wide receivers, they can share the bread, they can share the volume. There is enough mouths to feed in today's NFL for 3 really good wide receivers. Listen, I know you love the NFL draft as much as I do, and you're going to want a nice hefty watch list of players during this college football season. Well, go ahead, check out my draft guide. You can purchase it for only $30 by Venmoing or PayPaling me. Links in the description. It's a one-time payment and you get it for this whole draft cycle and forever and always. Technically, it's a Google spreadsheet. So send me your email when you send the payment. I'll get you hooked up. You will see my current prospect rankings and big board, my full evals. And guess what? It updates throughout the whole draft cycle. So it's a great purchase and it's a great way to support the channel. Pick 12, we got Drazon Newton going to the Chargers. I like that. I think they should go defense. Drazon Newton is a guy that's going to hover around my top 10. Some people might think he's undersized, which, yeah, he's a little undersized. But one of the best run defenders in this class, despite that. And just gets after it, dude. Straight looks like a man possessed. He looks like Predator out there getting into the backfield. So the Chargers would love to add that defensively. So say Bengals go to Nisei Fuaga. Okay, they sure up the right tackle. Jonah Williams, final year's deal. Get him out of here. The offensive line hasn't been exceptionally good this season for the Bengals, unfortunately. And I mean, added Fuaga, I think, would be a step in the right direction. No Keon Coleman off the board yet. I wonder where he might land. Pick 14. Buffalo Bills go with Keon Coleman. See, I said the Keon Coleman thing because I was like, oh man, he's always such a fun fit to the Bengals since we assume T. Higgins probably hits free agency. But here he is going to the Bills, man. That's hella good, man. You get a cat in there that'll essentially be a 1A to Stephon Diggs' 1B. You've seen good things from not just Dalton Kincaid, but Khalil Shakir this season. So just adding more playmakers, I think that's fine. I think that's A-okay. Still no corner selected in this draft yet. Ooh, let's keep looking. Hey, Leonard Taylor going to the Broncos out of the. Oh, let me scroll up. The U, baby, the U. I love it. I love it. I don't know if he's done enough to secure a first, he's probably fringe first round, but I don't think he's done enough to secure himself as a first rounder. And a lot of that is in part of how the freaking Miami Hurricanes used him. Oh man. Yeah. You do have one of the best pass rush win rates of college football. Well, we're going to put you at nose. We're going to make sure you see every double team possible. We're not going to be creative. We suck. I'm not surprised Leonard Taylor don't want to go back to that crap. But there is no denying the potential of Leonard Taylor. Moves like a linebacker at 305. Freaking love it. Seattle Seahawks, they go with Dallas Turner. I don't think edge is necessarily out of the realm of possibility. They could go with quarterback because Geno, he's been a bit up and down this season. Though, I mean, it was pretty obvious that his production and success last season just wasn't sustainable. When you're hitting 58% of your deep ball passes, it's going down next year. It just is. Like, even like, let's say elite to top 10 quarterbacks, typically on passes 20 plus yards or more, they're about that 40 to 48%. He was hitting 58. There ain't no way that was sustainable. And we've seen it come back down to earth. But there's no denying Geno Smith is a starting quarterback in the NFL. Like, the play's been that solid. But you got to start looking. Maybe you see him as a bridge option and you want to start looking for that next guy. Irrelevant at this point. Obviously, they decide to kick that can down the road, which I think is fine. They go with edge rush as they've seen Nwosu go down. They're really outside of Boye Mafe on the edge. There really hasn't been another edge present. I know they did just draft Derek Hall a year ago, but that was in the second round. Dallas Turner is really good, and you get a shot as edge talent kind of falls down the board. You get a shot at that. So I don't mind the pick. I don't mind it. The Rams, they take Kool-Aid McKinstry. I mean, we've already seen. I wonder if Maurice Mims is going to be in this draft, or if Trevor's going to look at him like, he's probably returning after suffering another ankle injury. Don't know how long he's out with that, so we'll see. But yeah, Kool-Aid, you get the top corner here. For me, it's a battle between Wiggins and Kool-Aid. You got Terrion Arnold starting to peep his head in there, like, what's up, boys? You still got Cooper DeJean, though DeJean suffered a leg injury, I believe, in the Big Ten championship game. I don't know how long he is out for, but no, I mean, I like this. I like this for the Rams. Good pick. Arizona Cardinals take Jared Verse. Hey, when the talent falls you, this is a great pick. They get an edge to pair up with B.J. Ojulari, who I want him to see the field more. Like, his pass rush win rate is absolutely ludicrous. Pick 19, we got Atlanta Falcons going with Chop Robinson. So not another quarterback. I was going to say not another quarterback probably comes off the board, but Minnesota Vikings still pick. So we could see a quarterback there. Chop Robinson. Atlanta needs edge help. If you were going to look at sneak in, you're going to look at just that defense. It's like, yeah, they could definitely get to the passer a lot quicker because it's a good defense, man. It's just kind of missing that one thing. So grabbing Chop Robinson, who at times has been really pretty good this season. So he's already went out and declared for the draft. I don't know if he's going to play their bowl game against Ole Miss. Dude, straight up, though, Penn State opened up 3.5-point favorites on Ole Miss. Give me Ole Miss plus the points, man. Give them to me, especially if Chop Robinson ain't playing. The Green Bay Packers take Armarius Mims, so they opt to not. I mean, I feel like this is a move that kicks Zach Tom to center. Though I feel like Myers has been playing better, not great, but I mean, irrelevant. If you think Mims is the top talent on the board, then go ahead, snag him. You could always grab a corner as well here with only one corner coming off the board. I think both options are very good in this case for the Packers. Minnesota, they're picking 15, right? Or 21, right? They're the next pick. Yeah, they are. They take Bo Nix. There we go. We got a fourth quarterback taken. Question is, will we see another quarterback taken? I don't think the likelihood is very good. But Bo Nix goes to the Vikings. Let's do a little read-in. Nix, once again, had a very impressive year as Oregon's signal caller. He finished the season with a 92.2 passing grade and an 87.3 passing grade under pressure, making only one turnover-worthy play under pressure all season. While he brings NFL caliber arm talent, this season was not as demanded as it was for others. His season average depth of target was below 7%, and his percentage of total passing yards that came through the air was below 40%, though he did have 12. I don't know if that number changed. I can't remember if that number changed after Pac-12 game, but I know he had 12 touchdowns of 20 plus yards or more. That's air yards. But I mean, we've seen him. He could dice it. He was doing that a little. He was doing that quite a bit last season. But yeah, no, I like the pick for the Vikings, man. I think right now they're not in a great spot to take a quarterback. But if quarterback falls, maybe they could just sit on their pick and then take a Jada Daniels or a Bo Nix. This is more so the vicinity I have those guys in. Indianapolis Colts take Quinyon Mitchell. Hello. I do love me some action. And Quinyon has been impressive. Mitchell has been one of the most productive cornerbacks in college football over the past 2 seasons. He leads the FBS in total force and completions from 2022 to 2023 with 35 and has an incredible 95.1 cumulative, I can't say words, coverage grade during that time. He doesn't have many reps in press. Yeah, Toledo plays a lot off coverage. That was legitimately in my summary eval. But if an NFL team is okay with that, they're getting a pretty darn good player. The Colts rank 18th in press coverage snaps so far. Yeah, and to be fair, they should add more talent for a team that has by far easily the lowest blitz rate of any other team in football. They are literally like 14% blitz rate, and I don't see that changing. It's worse than the NFL. I say worst. It's the lowest. I should say it's the lowest in the NFL. Just because you don't blitz doesn't mean you're worse. Gus Bradley, he's more of this like stunts and hoops and loops guy. But if you're gonna do that, then you're gonna have to rely on some coverage sacks sometimes. You're not going to bring the pressure. So you want to get guys that can come in and cover. And I think adding to that could go a long way. So Mitchell, this is a little high for me. He's going to be in my top 50, but it is just a tad a little high. Pittsburgh Steelers take Nate Wiggins. That's right, outside of Joey Porter. Y'all got nothing. This pick just makes sense. Well, that's interesting that Quinyon went ahead of Wiggins, though. Houston Texans take A.D. Mitchell. So they grab receiving help. Okay, hold on. The offense is humming with C.J. Stroud at the helm, and that shouldn't stop the Texans from keeping their foot on the gas and taking some new receiver talent in the upcoming draft. Mitchell, okay, then he just explains how good Mitchell's been. Mitchell is really good. He is definitely in that next tier along with like Emeka Ibuka. You could throw guys like Brian Thomas, Troy Franklin. Also in that tier, Xavier Leggett. Like, this is a very good wide receiver class. With the Texans are a tricky team to pick for just since they're picking so far down here. But I mean, I guess grab more receiving talent. That's fine, I suppose. It's fine. There's a couple of other spots I've been kind of thinking about, maybe like a Troy Fautanu. Looks like they're going to be starting Juice Scruggs at guard. I think that might just because of injury at guard right now. They had Titus Howard go down. They had Kenyon Green go down earlier in the year. So like guard could be in the running for this pick as well. So I don't know. Be interesting to see. Kansas City Chiefs take Xavier Leggett, yo. Yeah, if you're going to be like, man, we want to get that speed. We miss Tyreek's speed. Well, why don't we get a guy with that's just freaking massive as well? And guess what? This is like MVS if he was bigger, faster, and could catch. I love that. I love Xavier Leggett to the Chiefs. I love any receiver to the Chiefs. Jaguars go with Braylon Trice. This team has been very much just Josh Allen and company. He is a free agent, but I imagine they bring him back. Travon Walker, very versatile body type. You could almost say the same thing about a Braylon Trice. So just because you grab another edge here doesn't mean that all three of those players can't be on the field at the same time. They very much can, and I think they will be. So I'm not against the pick. I like it. He's kind of that next tier of edge rushers with JT Tuimoloau. Dallas Cowboys go with Graham Barton. I like this. Graham Barton playing tackle right now for Duke. He was recruited as a guard, played center his freshman season, and then moved out to left tackle. So I think he could probably play all 5 spots, but though when it comes to the NFL, he probably projects the best at guard and center, which I think works out for Dallas, man. You got Tyler Biadasz as a free agent. You could quite frankly move Tyler Smith back out to tackle if you bring back Tyler Biadasz and Tyron Smith if he ever decides to hang him up. Like maybe Tyler Smith kicks out to tackle and then you move Barton to guard. Like he gives you a lot of flexibility. That's just kind of what I'm saying here. Cooper DeJean going to the Detroit Lions. Lions have played a bit more zone this year, but don't get it twisted, man. This is still a team that doesn't mind going in man. I think part of that is because they've blitzed quite a bit this year because the pass rush hasn't really hit home outside of Aiden Hutchinson and then Lee McNeil. Though he's been slowed down the stretch by plethora of injuries. I think he actually just went on IR for his knee. But I think we could all agree corner's kind of the pick here for the Lions. Kind of ideally, if it doesn't feel like you're going to get a edge player here, so yeah, corner. I like it. San Francisco 49ers take Terran Arnold. Ooh. I would have considered Troy Fautanu here. I would have. But I'm cool with Arnold, man. Arnold's a ridiculous athlete. You love the build. Needs more polish, but I feel like they don't mind bringing him in and polishing him up because, they got guys like Ambry Thomas and Diamador Lenoir, who's the current starter, opposite of Charvarius Ward. They have guys that can sit there and play while you kind of develop Arnold. If you think you can't throw him to the Wolves just yet, but I feel like you probably can. I really do. He's gonna be another corner in my top 50. Very good corner class, by the way. So we'll see. Baltimore Ravens take Landon Jackson. Holy smokes. This is the first time I've seen him in a first round mock. I got him as a top 50 just simply because, hey, he's 6'7" and 281. And it's just, he kind of moves freaky at that size. But he really just has one standout game, and it just happened to be against Alabama. But outside of that, he's been relatively inconsistent and doesn't feel like he took much of a step up from last year. Like a dude with a ton of ability, man, but you're kind of rolling the dice on that ability. Though the Ravens, they're the kind of team where be like, yeah, no, we'll work with that. Yeah, I mean, it's a versatile body type, so I'm sure the Ravens would love that. Miami Dolphins take offensive line. Yes. Troy Fautanu. So I'm hoping we keep Connor Williams at center, by bringing him back. I think he's a free agent this season. Fautanu, he could play tackle, which he's played left tackle right now, or playing right now, left tackle for Washington. I think a lot of people think he probably projects better at guard. Either or, having a guy that can play guard or tackle, I think is very valuable. And I just want the Dolphins to get good players. Good offensive linemen. That's what I want. And with the last pick, Philadelphia Eagles take TJ Tampa. I think it's fine. I mean, yeah, they got Josh Jobe, Keely Ringo, and Eli Ricks, but I mean, you can't bank on those guys will be the future. Eli Ricks just kind of got toasted this past weekend. What Juwan Jennings did to him around the red zone was just, ugh. But I'm sure that's another guy that he will get better in time. But it doesn't mean you have to stop adding talent to the most volatile position in football. TJ Tampa, I love the length. I love the ability from him. He's been outstanding at Iowa State. And you just kind of add him into the mix where you truly are looking at now who are the heir apparents to your Darius Slay, James Bradbury. So, yeah, I think that should be it, right? Oh, no. Okay. No. I don't think we have a second round. I think these are the teams without first round picks. So Carolina Panthers take Brian Thomas. I love that pick. It's kind of wild that Terrace Marshall was supposed to be that next guy up this year. Also an LSU prospect, and then ends up not doing anything. And people criticized me in my Panthers deep dive for saying I think he's the guy on the outside looking in, and they were like, "No, he's going to be our number one wide receiver." Not saying I get all my takes right, but I think I get enough of them right to be willing to give the benefit of the doubt too. But I like Brian Thomas a ton, man. I think he sneaks into the first round. Then Ladd McConkey going to Cleveland. Okay, despite his measurables, at 6', 185, McConkey is a legit receiver who isn't just confined to slot duties. He has long speed, consistently threaded vertically, but also possesses fantastic stop-start ability for crisp route running. He could be a high-end volume guy for the Browns. Interesting. But anywho, that's it for the video. Go ahead, do that YouTube thing. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.